Hello and welcome to Working Title. I'm Ryan Fring with the BitLife Show. On today's show, we talk with Nate Bjork, a local comedian, podcaster, just entertainer extraordinaire who I actually ran into at the WAVE Awards. That's Web, Audio, and Visual Excellence Awards. He was the host in 2014, just this past November. He actually is part of the team that did one of the original Breaking Bad podcasts, and he was able to get many of their cast members on their show through Skype or cell phone or maybe dial-up. I don't know how old some of them are. So we talk about that and more. Here we go. Little round of applause for Nate for just sitting through that crap.
Yeah. Extreme patience.
We now clap.
Thank you so much for coming in and just hanging out with us.
Thank you guys for asking me to do this. And like, it's a little, so we're doing it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so it's a little bit, because I was listening, it's a little bit intimidating because I was listening/watching some of your older ones, and you have people on who actually know how to do things and like are good at stuff, and I was like, I don't even know what they're interested in me for.
See, we surround ourselves by people who know what they're doing to make ourselves feel better.
Yeah. Oh, okay. See,
it's about osmosis, but that is why we had you on.
No.
Oh, okay.
Nate.
Because
you have talents, right?
I have to.
That's what you told. That's what you told Julia.
You told me that.
I do have talents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like,
You
oh
told
yeah.
me, remember?
wait a second. What's?
What just happened?
Should we leave?
I think we should leave.
They're wearing matching shirts.
This is getting creepy.
What's weird? What's weird is like tomorrow morning we'll swear.
Yeah, go ahead and do that on camera.
Like when we
might as well just.
Oh, now she's bringing the champagne in, and I feel like we need to leave. We're on the wrong podcast.
Gonna go ahead.
So I did want to pick your brain a little, Nate.
Yeah.
I heard you were very talented from these two.
Yeah, we're doing a podcast, and we had you host the 2014 Waves, which you did a phenomenal job for.
That was a fun time.
You were probably, you were one of my favorite judges in the last hosts in the last 5 years. You had
Me too.
Yeah. Great. I'm glad. I'm glad
everyone's on the same page.
But I think you really walked that fine line of entertaining, informative, and respectful. Because I think that's really important to keep all those three things together in a host. And I from what I know, that comes from you doing so many different things, podcasts, and more hosting type of things, and just being in front of people.
Yeah. It's one of these kind of soft skills that I want to do more stuff with. And one thing that's really important to me is to have kind of a creative outlet, and regardless of what it is, I need to be able to do something. So I do podcasts. Mm-hmm. For about 5 years, I did stand-up comedy. I don't do that as much. I think the last time I did it was in November. I don't do that as much. I do music stuff. I just put out an album. I'm working on
Nice.
I'm working on my second one right now.
Nice.
And
I don't have any of your music. I apologize.
Get us the links. We'll pimp your ride.
We're gonna put them
Nate
up
Bjork,
here again.
Nate
Is
Bjork.
this how we do it?
There.
Wait. There's a real plug. Shut up.
Hold on. Wait.
Go ahead. Real plug.
NateBjork.bandcamp.com. Okay, so what this is though is because when I and it's a weird project. When I was doing a podcast about that show Under the Dome because I'm a fan of the novel by Stephen King, and it turns out the show's not very good.
Well, season 1 was really good, wasn't it?
It was very good until the very last episode, and it tricked me and that's why I was so mad. But did you watch it?
I have not seen it.
I watch it, but I'm like 3 into the new season, and what is it? They negotiate with the dome or something. They're like, we got to stop killing people. Okay, we stopped killing people, and now we're getting rain. Was that
something like that? Yeah.
Sum it up.
Mm-hmm. the dome is a fickle mistress.
So is that not the book? Is that not how the book is?
The book is it's not very much like that at all.
Really?
I mean, there's a dome, and some of the characters have the same names.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read the book now.
Yeah.
Because
I
like
feel
Stephen
like
King.
the Simpsons movie handled this probably better.
So the very first episode. So I was doing a podcast about the show because I thought it would be good. Very first episode, they have a bridge party for no reason. Mm-hmm. These kids have this bridge party. So I wrote a song called Bridge Party as a joke. And then the very next episode, there's they come across this dude whose legs get cut off because he's at the picnic.
Right.
So I wrote a song about that guy. my imagining of him, getting ready because he's excited to have this picnic, and he's packed his sandwiches
because he has no legs, and
And so-
anything is exciting to him these days.
And no, this was before, but then the clincher is but I don't cut my legs off.
Oh,
And that's and so I
Is that the chorus?
So I wrote, that is the chorus actually. But I don't cut my legs off. So what I did was I wrote a song for that, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna write a song for every single one.
that's a great idea.
And then for every single episode, so every week I wrote a song, and then afterwards I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put this out. So my buddy, who's now my roommate, who has the recording kind of studio, Brendan Franklin, he's the guitar player for the Kissers.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
He produced this album. I play all the instruments myself.
Just like Beck in
Just
his
like
latest
Beck.
album.
I'm
yeah.
just like
That's
Beck.
right.
You're just
Yeah.
like Beck.
Or Dave Grohl. Yeah. Any number of brilliant minds, just like me.
Just like they're just like you.
So
let's turn that around. I like that. Yeah.
just like me. Yeah. So I put this thing out, and I really worked really hard. I worked super hard on a joke project. But the point of this is, and spent a lot of money too, of my own money, doing it. But the point of this is, because I was talking about what I do and what it's all about kind of making myself laugh and entertaining myself.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something that makes me laugh, so I'm going to do it, and hopefully other people will think it's funny too, because I want people to hear it.
Yeah.
And one thing that I did kind of paint myself in a corner by making it about Under the Dome, because people are like, I've never seen the show, I'm not going to listen. Yeah, you don't have to have seen it. Mm-hmm. Brendan, the producer, never saw it. He's kind of has an idea of what it's about now, but
Yeah. Now, have you been able to make any contact with the show? Have you done any tweeting?
I've been tweeting at him.
Yeah.
And nothing. Here's the thing. Because it makes fun of the show, I'm a little nervous. So I am friends with Dean Norris, who plays Big Jim Rennie.
Oh, really?
Because when I did a podcast about Breaking Bad, we interviewed the cast of
nice.
that.
Nice.
So I'm friends with him on Facebook, and I wanted to show him and have him pass it along, but I feel like he would be insulted by it. It's because
he's got to have a sense of humor with his character, though, because his character is a huge douche / and it kind of towards the end kind of felt like the hero's methodology of he's good, he's bad, he's good. I don't know what's going on.
What's very interesting, that's one thing that the show does that's more subtle than the Stephen King book, because with Stephen King I love Stephen King. But his characters tend to be black and white, and but like I said, I think I love Stephen King. My only tattoo is a Stephen King tattoo. It says his name.
Nice.
It doesn't say his name.
Oh, okay.
But it's from the
Small
Dark
little
Tower
tramp tamp.
What is it?
Tramp tamp.
It's a tramp tamp.
What's the?
Stop talking.
I just finished that because he just finished it 6 years ago or
So
within the last 5 years.
the unfound door?
Yeah.
I have unfound on my arm. In that language he wrote.
Yeah.
He made up. It's in the dorky thing, but
it's a great series too. The Gunslinger. What is it? What is
The
it?
Dark Tower.
The Dark Tower. Yeah.
The first book is the Gunslinger.
Because it's self-proclaimed cyclical.
Yeah, it is. Well, don't spoil it.
I won't spoil it, but
it is.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
No, but that's a great one where you're walking along the beaches with this guy who gets all beat up and beaten down, and you spend a book walking along the beach with him. Mm-hmm. And it's an adventure, fantasy, slightly sci-fi.
Yeah.
And the characters are, pretty black and white, but that doesn't limit any of the story or anything.
Yeah. It is. Go out and read it. Go out and read it.
Wait, what? Read? What is this?
Listen to it on the audio.
Is that something that goes in my eyes?
Or listen to the album. There's a third option now. That's what
There's no album about Dark Tower.
Well, you will.
Yet.
Well, no, because what sucks is, so I'm working on, because I wrote the second season's worth of songs, and so I have to record all those. And then they just announced that they're filming a third season. So now I have to, because I wanted to make my third album a children's album, children's music, but now I'm committed.
But if you
as a
do
career path,
Under the Dome
makes sense.
children's album for season 3,
I
so
could.
you tweak it so
Under
it's
the
all children's songs.
It's kind of like
so that our kids could
Under the
listen to
Dome with
it.
children.
so that our children could listen to it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally safe.
Yeah.
By the way, there's 2 separate conversations going on at this table. It's divided.
Like it's like the Flight of the Conchords thing though. They were writing these comedy music, and they weren't constrained to just that one concept of a show. And I think, well, I guess they're on tour again now, but they did those 2 seasons of the Flight of the Conchords TV show, which was hilarious. But then they stopped because they were just like, we can't write this much music.
Like, especially the second season seemed like they were writing more for the show.
Yeah.
The first season they had.
It was was just stuff they had in the bank.
Yeah.
Because they were touring and
that was
doing
part of
these
their
stuff.
act. Yep. Yeah. And the second season was they had to come up with all this new stuff. And going into the third season, HBO called them up and they more or less decided that they didn't want to do it. And their, I forget, agent or whatever contacted HBO is like, do you even want me to tell you how much money we're going to offer you? And was it Brett? What are they?
Brett and Jerome?
Or Britt?
Jermaine.
Britt and Jermaine.
Sorry.
Whichever
Jermaine.
one's the taller guy.
There's no R.
Jermaine.
You know,
is the
they
taller
were
guy.
like, they're like, no, don't even tell us. You know, probably millions. And he's like, if they would have told us, we would have taken the millions and probably still be doing that.
Yeah.
But they said no and went back to the drawing board and kind of restarted, their different things.
I mean, there's something to be said for that. Like at some point in your craft, in your art, and like if it stops becoming fun, there's a question about whether you should keep doing it. Like you said, whether you commit to that third album or not. Like at some point, it's just like, who am I really pleasing with this? Because it's killing me. It's sucking me dry.
Yeah, if it sucks for you.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah. And that's kind of why I stopped doing doing stand up so much. I mean, I'll probably end up going back to it because it's a huge rush.
How did you get started? That was my question.
Oh,
So how
okay.
did you get started?
Okay, this is interesting. So you guys remember? You
Since
guys
we're
are all
on we're on our first date.
we're on our
So,
first date.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Julia.
with chaperones.
Yeah.
So Julia.
Excuse me, keep a little
I'm not
space.
ready yet.
So the do you guys remember Muppet Babies?
Oh, yes. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So Fozzie Bear was my hero as a kid, and
Yeah, the jokester.
yeah,
Yeah.
and his
Terrible jokes, though.
Terrible jokes. He was the only one who thought they were funny.
Yeah,
wasn't he?
right.
But I loved him so much, and I was like, I'm gonna grow up and I'm gonna become a comedian like Fozzie Bear, and that was the first thing I wanted. When I was in first grade, when other kids would be like, I'm gonna bring in a wasp's nest for show and tell, I came in with a joke book, and every week I did time every week. Like with
You started stand up in grade school.
I did, but it was not original material, but it was all
Wow.
like, what do you call, two bicycles tied together? Siamese twins, and that's hilarious to a kid. Like that's
To the kid who's reading it,
yeah.
specifically.
Yeah. So I would do that, and but I would do time every week, and I was like, I want to do this. But then as I got older, I had convinced myself that I'm shy and that I don't, and I'm not good in front of people, and I'm nervous, and you do these things, and so I kind of started doing music stuff instead. And you kind of get that fun, creative thing with music, and performing with a group or even in a band. I play the drums. You're behind a drum set,
Yeah.
so you have that level of protection. But then, let's see, about like 2008 or 9, it was after my divorce, Julia. I decided
With a wink,
Yeah.
for those who aren't watching.
yeah. I decided to I've been talking about doing comedy this whole time, and if I don't just try it, I'll do it. I mean, if I don't, I'll regret it.
Yeah.
And because I can keep telling myself I'm nervous all the time, but so I did it, and it was awesome, and the jokes were bad. Like it was all about my wiener, like every beginning
Sure.
comedian like dropping F words.
Yeah,
and,
right.
Like not funny.
They kind of help enable you to get
Yeah.
up there and
Yeah.
be kind of goofy,
Not
and,
subtle at all. And, just real crappy.
just kind of ramrod right through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought I did brilliantly, and so I kept doing it. Like I was like, I am the best. So I kept doing it, and it's so much fun. And you also it's neat because when if you have an idea about something or just a thought about something, if you turn it into a joke, people have to listen to you. Like they have to. They paid money to watch you.
That's right.
To watch you say stuff.
Yeah.
So I did that for a long time, but then it started getting like, it started feeling like work a little bit. And I got sick of my own jokes, and then so I would write new jokes, and then I would try those, and people would be like, if you're gonna do a set here, if you're gonna host for a weekend or whatever, do your good stuff. And I'd be like, I'm sick of it, but okay.
Was that downtown? What's
Comedy
the
Club on State.
Comedy Club? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they not let you workshop? Do they not have
they
workshop
do. They have
nights
they have open mics and
Okay.
stuff. But I always was trying to, like, whenever I got like a paid gig or something, I would get sick of my own stuff, so I'd try to bring in new stuff, and it just wouldn't work, and I was frustrated with that. And then like it just I got sick of going to open mics and listening to crappy people tell crappy jokes. And that sounds really snotty. But I just didn't stop liking it. So, I mean, I'll probably go back and do it again. And anyone who thinks they want to do stand-up comedy should go and try it. Like, just go and do it. Like, you guys are DIY guys. Like, you have an idea to do something and you just did it. It's like, I'm sure you when you first started wanting to make films and stuff, you would or anything, you had the worst. You didn't have the best equipment, and but you didn't let.
And pretty much no idea how to do it right.
But you didn't have to use that as an excuse. Like,
I still don't.
Right. Okay. Good. Yeah.
We should have a conversation, editor.
Because
watch this episode doesn't get edited.
Because I think a lot of people are like, well, I just need to wait until I get everything set up. I need to wait until I get a new drum set. I need to wait until I get the right equipment. Or I need to wait until I can write a joke. No, just do it.
I think what you're getting at is just fundamentally important to any kind of creative, and it helps you overcome the fear, because there's always fear of exposure and being wrong and not doing it right and all that. And if you let that just control you, you're never going to do anything new. And especially with like getting up on stage and comedy, like you're going to get up there and you might have 10 minutes or something where you got to get through, unless you want to walk off the stage and be not classy. And so you could take a beating up there. You got to be okay for that. What we do, we kind of construct things and throw it out there and then get feedback. So it's a little safer.
Yeah,
but
it's
that
immediate.
Well, and I was thinking, stand-up comedy is, I'm always amazed by people who do it and do it well. A lot of friends like tell me I'm funny, and there's one of our friends in particular who keeps telling me, you missed your calling, you should be a stand-up comedian. And I'm like, I feel
different.
like, I'm like, I have the element of surprise. We're having a conversation, and I just throw something out there that's really goofy. But like, you walk up on stage, one of my favorite comedians,
make me laugh.
Brian Regan has that. He's like, okay, funny boy, give us some jokes.
I love Brian Regan.
Yeah. And he's like, boxing. Yeah, but I totally understand that. Like, thank you for coming. You are here to laugh at my comedy, and it's like, oh my gosh, that is way too much pressure. Like.
It is. You got okay. So there's a couple things you should keep in mind when you go and do your first time of comedy, because you will.
Yes.
You should.
Win.
Because if you've thought about doing it, you should do it. There's two things I think you should think about. One, when people are there, people watch comedy because they're not funny and they're boring. Keep that in mind. It's probably not true, but keep it in mind. And,
I'll tell them that.
And just assume you're funnier than
I've
them.
been told that none of you guys are funny. First my jokes are funny.
First joke.
And when you're up on stage,
are you doing that like Gone Girl, by the way? Not to interrupt.
I haven't seen Gone Girl.
Okay, never mind. Sorry.
Or read it.
We'll get to that in a second. Continue.
Okay.
When you're up on stage.
When you're up on stage, who is the expert on your material? Who's the person who knows more than anyone else in the room?
Wait. Is it me?
It's you. It's you. And so you're the one. You're the expert. You're the one who wrote all this stuff. No one else in this room owns that material but you. And just keep that in mind. And now it's self-help. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, and there's so much that goes into it that it's different than the little kid Fozzie Bear joke. It's like timing. Like you're telling a story and you're kind of waiting, but because you're on stage, you're really trying to get to that punchline. Whereas, like I said, in a conversation, you're just waiting, and it's like. That moment passed, just in your mental dialogue as the conversation's happening, it's like, never mind, I won't do that right now.
But then you have some comedians who, as part of their act, their mental dialogue is their act.
Yeah.
Eddie Izzard does that a lot, where like he'll
nobody got that one.
Yeah, like he'll throw out a joke and no one will laugh and be like, all right, we're gonna take that one off. Like he'll just do little stuff, and that's it's funnier because it's like he's admitting that. Okay, you know what? sometimes it doesn't work. And well, I feel like a lot of the jokes he throws out there are for like 4 people.
Yeah.
And that's all he cares about.
But it's those things, those throwaway things that actually are more funny.
Oh yeah.
Like those things will, like Jim Gaffigan does this.
Oh yeah.
With really, why is he doing pillow jokes?
Yeah. Why is he doing that voice again? So awkward. Well, and that gets at kind of maybe the 2 components that I think are really important. You can't just have funny jokes, because somebody can tell really funny jokes really poorly and they're not going to be funny. You have to have a really funny personality so that you can tell those jokes in a funny way, or not tell those jokes in a funny way and just tell a story in a funny way. And I feel like that was one of the ways I thought you succeeded just extravagantly at the Waves, was you had some jokes and those are great, and then your attitude, just your kind of nonchalance, and you kind of, just like that, like, no, yeah, okay, moving on.
Yeah.
That's not a written joke. That's just your persona that you're playing up there.
I think you're right about that. I think you're right about the thing that you say I'm good at. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. High fives.
When you become kind of self-analytical with your stuff, with your art or craft or whatever, sound douchey like that. With your craft, when you start to think about that kind of stuff, you notice things like that. And one thing that I noticed is maybe my material was never the strongest, or if it was strong, but it wasn't something that a regular person could go up there and make work. Some of my jokes were plain bad, and that was the joke. But people would laugh because I'm up there saying it. Like I would stand up for maybe like 20 seconds, which is a long time, and not say anything and just be expressive or react to something, and people would keep laughing. My opener that I did in my standard set was mostly nonverbal, and it killed every time. So yeah, I mean, it's a thing about it's. So comedy, it's different for different people, but for me, it's been like not necessarily a guy telling funny jokes, but it's a funny guy saying things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm bragging and stuff.
That's Brian. That's like that describes Brian Regan. He's I've seen a handful of comedians live, but
now I want to
he's
do
one
comedy
of them.
again.
Yeah. He just walks out on stage and you start rolling because he's just like, That's so. I feel like that. Not to be douchey again, transcends in other arts, music and film, and any kind of maybe performance. Where I forget the quote specifically, but we were always told in band class in high school, and this was a quote from some composer, like the music is in the rest, or in the silence. The music is in the silence. Like the rests are the most important notes that you're gonna play, because
that doesn't make any sense.
That gives you because it gives you a perspective of the rest. Otherwise, it's just noise.
Yeah.
Right.
You should join my Under the Dome
tribute.
I'm ready.
Make fun of what would you call that? Parody band.
It's the album's called Bridge Party : an album inspired by Under the Dome.
Is it just the word colon? Because that would be
your band treasure. Needs to be called Under the Tone.
Yeah.
Well, I'm out. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Jeff. For coming.
One useful thing a day. Thank you very much.
Jeff will invoice you.
We can whisper. He can't hear us.
1,200 jokes a day, and one joke is decent.
You got to keep peppering them in there.
Oh, yeah.
That's a volume. Fire. That's just...
Yeah.
One of these has got to stick.
Just keep throwing them out there.
I'm sorry. Where's Roar?
All right, so what do you guys want to talk about next?
Yeah, music. Wait.
Yeah, well, what did you come here to talk about? We've been talking about comedy a lot.
Yeah, I was actually wondering when I came, because I was like, I do a bunch of things, so I don't know what they wanted me to talk about.
I guess what occurs to me is that a lot of this applies to like podcasting. I guess you can cut it down later, but just to keep the thoughts rolling and keep the conversation relevant and keep. I guess I don't know a lot about the podcast that you do, and it sounds like you've done some pretty cool things with like interviewing different people from shows and.
Yeah, the cool thing about doing podcasts that are about TV shows is TV shows tend to have fans that will consume anything that's about the show.
So we should probably switch the content of this show to TV.
You could,
Okay.
but on the other hand, it's do what you want. Yes,
kidding.
On
switch
the,
it to TV.
on the other hand,
probably will.
there's 1,000 other people doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's the thing. The reason we were able to get in with the Breaking Bad people was we were the first Breaking Bad podcast. And Kelly Dixon, the one of the editors of Breaking Bad, listened, and she said we should do a podcast so they made an official podcast, and she would give us shouts out, and then eventually we contacted her and said, hey, can you introduce us to these people? So we got to talk to Vince Gilligan and Bryan Cranston, Aaron Paul, Betsy Brandt, Dean North, Jonathan Banks.
And how'd you do that? Was that a Skype?
It was over Skype. It was over Skype, but
Okay.
it was really interesting because
That's
some
awesome.
of them was over Skype. But everyone had different levels of comfort.
Okay.
So when we called Dean Norris on Skype, he turned the video on. And it was just him sitting there on the video because we usually do it with just audio.
Oh, okay.
So, with Jonathan Banks, he played Mike Ehrmantraut. Do you guys are aware of the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, he played Mike Ehrmantraut, and the guy would have us call his cell phone, and he'd just be walking around his house, talking to us. And he's like, "You could say this in your article." He didn't understand.
He didn't. Yeah.
But we got to talk to him a few times. And he would forget that we were supposed to call him, and so we'd be like, "Hey," he'd be like, "Hey, Jonathan." We'd be like, "Hey, it's
We're live coming to you from 2504.
But the cool thing about that podcast, that the one regret that I had about that was when Bryan Cranston and then Vince Gilligan invited us out to the set for during the final, because they split that last season in half, and they're like, "Come out for this the last half." And I thought, and I had all these ideas, maybe they'll see us and be like, this would be the perfect face for this scene or whatever. How you come up with these dumb ideas in your head.
They're like, Brian, get out of here. This guy's going to be the new you.
Apparently, the show is run by a bunch of hitmen.
They're like, this is Walter right here. Walter Sr.
You know what? We need to redo the entire first 6 seasons.
Hey.
Right?
Let me tell you.
But we just didn't get it was stupid because we didn't put the money together to do it. And it would have been, we tried to raise money and get donations from listeners, and we got a bunch, but
then you just
there
blew
was
it
just
on
no
drugs
reason,
and women.
Yeah, just drugs and meth.
Ironic.
Yeah, it was.
Glee.
Clee.
It was.
Timing. Going back to that comedy from earlier.
And awkward pause. And you were saying before you were rudely interrupted.
I'm sorry.
No, and it's stupid because we could have just I think during your first take of this this podcast, someone's like, just take out a credit card. Yeah, I know. You're telling me now. It would have only been it would have only been what, $3,000 probably to get all of us out there tops. And if we could find people to crash with or whatever,
Right.
there's no there we could have camped. There's no reason why we didn't do it, but we didn't do it, and I regret that because it would have been cool. And you know what? That's the reason I am not a Hollywood actor now.
Yep.
And you're here.
And that's why I'm here.
You could have done it.
That's a good reason.
All right,
You could have done it.
Let's go back and let's look at this a little bit, shall we?
Yeah.
What you should have done,
Yeah.
you should have gotten an RV, okay? You should have made a small amount of crystal meth in the back of this, sold it once, done it out, moving on.
Yeah.
But
I
you
do
know
some
the
chemists.
You know the irony would be that you would do that first one and you get yourself in a little trouble a little bit, and then you're like, okay, we're just gonna do one more time.
Yeah.
The next thing you know, your pregnant wife's like, oh, I don't know. I hate Skylar. I'm sorry. For
Shave
the
your
first
head.
Season,
So here's the thing.
I'm already going.
She's the one we didn't get to talk to, and I would have liked to talk to her.
I'm just watching the show.
Just watching the
Have
show.
me do the first, second
So
season.
Her
Nice.
character is so she wrote an interesting article about it, and I don't really remember it at all. So go and look it up.
It
was so
It's about
interesting.
how hated Tyler was.
Love that as a lead-in. She wrote something. Probably
don't
would have helped in this discussion.
But you'll get it.
Yeah. It's fine. Whatever.
But do you remember what she said? But it was.
Well, there was a
part of it
couple
was
of articles was that she was receiving death threats
Seriously?
From people, yes, from people saying
People are messed up.
Your wife is an effing bitch. Like your character's a bitch. Well, let's talk about that for a second. You're pregnant. Your husband is dying of brain cancer, and he decides to become this horrible drug dealer, and she's the harpy. I don't know.
No,
So there was a feminist spin on it. Now I've
Yeah.
only seen 2 seasons, so I need to watch the whole thing. But I think it was how cruel listeners were to Anna Gunn. Like, Anna Gunn, I'm gonna fucking come and kill you.
That's different.
That's
Like,
That's messed up.
inappropriate.
I am not. I'm not like. There's not a single part of me watching the show going like, God, I hate that actress.
Well, it's like-
You're like you're
Like,
backing
that
up.
is-
Yeah.
like,
Let's be clear.
Like, don't lump me in with those people.
Yeah, please don't
Yeah.
make me
But
one of
you
those
do
crazies.
start to you do associate an actor with their
Yeah.
character sometimes. Like especially if you're young though. Well, I remember when I watched Home Alone 2 and hating Tim Curry because he was a dick in the.
Yes.
He was. I was like, oh, f that guy.
Yeah.
And then I watched Clue and I was like, okay, cool. All right, he's not so bad.
Literally the same character.
That's also why I love
Yeah.
seeing cast photos from movies. You know, especially like Gone Girl or something like that with the main character. What's a woman?
My
I feel
favorite
so
part of-
Rosamund
stupid.
Pike.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like just
Rosamund
being a
Pike.
normal person and not a psycho.
No.
My
Like,
favorite
you're like,
part
okay.
of Gone Girl. My favorite part of Gone Girl is when she's like, "I'll never, with God as my witness, I'll never be hungry again." And it was Gone with the Wind Girl. Is this what we're talking about? We're
What?
talking about Gone with the Wind Girl.
No.
We're talking about Gone with the Wind Girl.
Gone with the
That's-
Wind.
Is this
Gone-
a
Gone with
YouTube
the-
Gone
video?
Girl is the
Gone
second.
Girl.
Oh, the sequel to Gone with the
Yeah,
Wind is
no,
Gone
it's
Girl.
yeah. It took them like 60 years to make it,
Yeah.
40 years to make it.
The sequel
Yeah.
is where Scarlett decides that Red is not doing it for her anymore, so she fakes her own death,
and then she
in
gets in a
order-
carriage, and the town's on fire.
and the town's on fire,
I vaguely
which she
remember
may or
the
may not
first
have
one.
caused.
Oh my
You know,
gosh.
whatever.
And Ben Affleck is.
And Ben Affleck is there.
And
Pearl
side
Harbor,
penis,
and
yeah.
side-
That's right.
That's true. There was side penis. I forgot about that.
And
Yeah.
then you find out that he's Batman, and it's all like,
And that's the twist ending because it's like, no, it's all that.
And then Christian Bale's like, "Oh, you're my eyeline." that was Aziz Ansari.
Oh my God,
as-
that sounded
as Christian
I
Bale.
was gonna say, I'm like, holy Arnold, Christian
happening?
Bale.
Come on, man.
you know what? It's so I actually stopped watching Dexter.
I almost thought you said I almost stopped listening to this podcast. Sorry.
I,
I've been
uh,
checking
John's like,
out for the last
I'm
5.
I'm done. I'm not gonna listen.
Where we at?
Alright,
We here?
I'm just
We're
gonna
not
put
here.
my fingers in my
and
ears.
it's because I know that this is the director's intention and that they succeeded in it, but it's still like creepy, like watching some of these shows where so the same thing happened in Breaking Bad. Like, okay, Walter's the sort of, I guess, protagonist, you know, even though he's sort of doing like non-protagonist things. And then these characters that are morally upstanding, then like because you're looking at it from the view of the protagonist,
Right.
they become annoying.
Right, they become the villain.
They become the villain.
Yep.
And I had this going on with Dexter, and I stopped watching because I was just like, it's so weird for my brain to watch this and be like, oh, I hope they don't catch him. Wait, what?
I hope he keeps murdering.
Like, and so I was just like, all right, I think I'm gonna stop watching that show. And then I was stressed because I wanted to know what happened, and my wife
Nothing. He drives off into a storm.
She
Like
very intelligently
with his dead sister.
She very intelligently suggested that I just read the spoilers.
That was good miming of a.
He was going.
He was actually in a
That's
boat,
all right.
not a skidoo.
But yeah, it's a weird
that a
thing with media. I
snow
mean,
thing?
like that's the capability that the directors and writers have is like put you in that weird headspace.
And you can't actually argue that this is a new thing. We watched Gone with the Wind yesterday for my podcast.
No, it's called Gone Girl.
Gone Girl with the Wind.
Yeah.
Gone
Gone
Girl
with the
with the
girls
Wind.
and win.
Gone with the Wind Girls.
It's
I
anime.
think we should
weird.
write.
Gone Girl with the Wind in 60
Gone,
seconds.
girl with the
Yes.
wind.
Gone
To
Girl
Mars.
with the Wind.
Chris Walker.
Gone Girl with the Wind.
Where's Peter Pan? Where's the pan?
The Hawk. Arr, scary.
Okay, that got me. At first I was annoyed, but then when he said, "Oh, scary," I was like, "Okay."
Gonna
that's
get you
funny.
eventually. No, so for the podcast that I've been doing for the last couple of years, where we watched Gone with the Wind. That was the movie we had to watch, and it's the first time I'd watched it in years. Watching that movie yesterday, I realized Scarlett O'Hara is technically the antagonist, but you follow her the entire time because Melanie, her friend, is the good guy. She's the one that's always caring about everybody and self-sacrificing and putting herself in front of everybody. We realize that her character's story, she's the secondary character in the entire movie. Her story is what any other normal, like, kind of life movie would have been.
Another perspective.
Yeah.
Another perspective.
Meanwhile, Scarlett is over here basically being a bitch the entire time. Horrible person. She, you know, she's getting guys, she's marrying people just to kind of, like, either not backstab, but like move ahead a little bit of a life, and then they die. And, oh no, oh darn. You know, like when Melanie actually dies, there's a moment where she's like, "Oh, good, Ashley can be mine again," or finally. And it's like your friend, your good friend, your entire life just died, and all you care about is getting with her husband. Like we realized this yesterday that she's a bad guy. She's not the good guy. Yeah, like never
like a narcissist.
Never consciously made that decision, and it's like. But you watch that entire movie, and there's tons of people who watch Gone with the Wind and think, you know, oh, she's the character that had it tough, which you could argue, yes. Right. But you could watch that movie completely differently and like be on her side and feel bad for her that she's been married and keep losing these husbands and trying to find peace and trying to make it through the world. When it's like, really, she's not.
You guys both said this, and I have a general question. With protagonists and antagonists, you know, things like that, does a protagonist have to be a positive or good character, or are they just the person that we follow through the story as the main, you know, lead character?
Right. I think you're right. I think it's not. I think technically, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not an expert on the film and the theater and the stuff, but I think a protagonist is the person we root for regardless of their ethics.
Right.
But historically, they've had ethics that have been similar to us.
Yeah.
So we always think of like the protagonist as the good guy.
Right.
But like when you get like the Dexters, the Walter Whites.
Right.
And those
Francis Underwoods.
Francis Underwoods.
Oh yeah.
They're all not good guys. They're technically
Francis
not
Underwood
good
is
guys.
from House of the Cards.
House of the Cards.
House of the Cards.
With winds of girls.
House of the Cards.
House of the Breaking Card Bads.
Well, in Breaking Bad is such a good example of that done right, because it shows the descent into evil or wrongness or whatever you want to kind of characterize that is. But you know, a person starting with hopefully, you know, noble intentions, but doing something bad and then just descending into that.
Yeah.
Whereas Francis in House of Cards, he's just bad. He just starts off bad. Dexter starts off bad, gets worse, more moral. I don't know. It's kind of mixed up with him. But Walter White is, you know, theoretically a good person when we start the show. And
who has good intentions.
I was going to say, I believe the writers have expressed that, you know, that's what they wanted to do with this show, is show just this descent into evil.
Yeah, they wanted to take like your kind of model citizen person and then kind of turn him into Scarface.
That's exactly it. That's what they said. Yeah.
So and I think they did that successfully. Like, what's interesting is they did it so well that we stopped rooting for Walter White.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy needs to die. He's a bad man. I hate him. Do you guys watch Better Call Saul?
Yes.
I haven't seen it.
Did you?
I gotta
watch the first episode.
First.
The very first episode at the very beginning, where you're like, "Oh, f that Walter White. He ruined this guy's life."
Oh, okay.
Did you see it?
No, I haven't seen the first episode.
Oh.
I know.
Okay. Anyways.
Anyway, sorry.
Just 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, I was like,
not one.
She was like, I just started watching it. Have
Yeah.
you seen the first
Episode
episode?
6.
Okay.
Yeah, I have the split Sling TV for 2 weeks because I wanted to see AMC stuff. So they have like 4 or 5 maybe of Better Call Saul, maybe 4, 5, and 6. So I'm gonna have to legally torrent. The earlier episodes.
I acquired.
I would recommend Amazon Prime, and you can order your.
Yeah.
www.smile.amazon.prime.the internet.
The internet.
We're plugging all these people, and they're like, great, and we just do it for free.
We're gonna get a cease and desist. Like, do not mention our thing on your show.
Stop talking
It's
about
actually negatively affecting our.
The thing that so I have a psychology background, as many of you know, and so what's interesting is that what you're talking about.
You can read my mind.
She's
Analyze my behavior.
That's what
therapy
psychology
later.
is.
Yes. Yeah. is the interesting part of like what you're defining as protagonists in our current culture are all narcissists, and how much is that contributing to this idea of like narcissism in our society along with social media? But then you bring up Scarlett.
Look at him.
That's okay.
He just doesn't even care. He just gets
No,
out.
that's fine. He can get in there. There we go. But like Dexter's a narcissist.
Yep.
Francis is a narcissist. I think Breaking Bad guy turns into a narcissist. Walter White turns into a narcissist. So you have these characters that are becoming like the most featured television shows right now in the country are full of these male narcissists. And then you end up disliking the good people around him because of that. And how is that influencing our young people? Not to totally bring this thing out all the way down, but like it's a really interesting, as you guys are talking, I'm thinking about, and what you describe in Gone with the Wind, which is generally the difference between Dexter and Francis Underwood, though, is that in the TV show Dexter, they show that the witnessing of a traumatic event when he was a very small child is who shaped who he was. We don't see that with Francis, although Francis does urinate on his father's tombstone.
Yes.
At the beginning of episode 3, so I don't think that relationship was
I should
great.
watch this show. It seems interesting.
House of Cards.
House built
I
from
currently
cards.
have a crush both on Kevin Spacey and Robin Wright. Robin Wright this season is like blowing my mind as Claire Underwood. Robin Wright Penn.
Oh, she's
Princess Bride.
Fantastic.
Oh, Robin Wright!
There you go.
Jenny from Forrest Gump.
Did you
She
read
should be
Carrie
anything,
Elway's
anywhere.
book?
She can. She can do anything
You
she
should
wants.
read Carrie Elway's book, As You Wish.
As You
Okay.
Wish. I heard it's good.
Oh, that'd be good.
I heard it's good.
It's really good.
Okay. She can do, and right now in season 3 of House of Cards, Robin Wright can do no wrong. I want to see everything she's in. I want to listen to her
Yeah.
read the dictionary. I don't even care. I want her to wear that gray dress from episode 3. Oh my gosh.
She's such a great, powerful woman,
Yeah.
which is really nice because they're like, we wrote a powerful woman role, and then we got this actor who maybe is attractive but is not, just can't.
Are you talking about
can't
Once
do the
Upon a
powerful
Time?
woman. Yes.
You're talking about Once Upon a Time.
Yes.
Yeah.
The heroine
Snow
there.
White. She's
Snow
like,
White.
look at me, I have a bow and arrow, and I'm gonna run, but I can't run.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's the Hunger Games.
Well,
That's
what's her
what-
name again? Claire,
That's you.
Claire
Robin Wright.
Underwood. Robin
Claire
Wright.
Underwood. Well,
She's just, oh my gosh.
And
like,
you talk
she should be in everything.
She
should be in
dyes her
everything.
hair.
She dyes her hair. She should. When you talk about space in music, she does so much without speaking. Her nonverbal language and the looks that she has conveys so much of who she is as a character and her complexity. And I think that's really difficult. And I know she won the Golden Globe. So you have a huge crush on her. She won the Golden Globe for season 1, didn't win last year. I think she could go up for this year with what's happening right now.
Welcome to Let's Talk About Our Favorite Shows on Netflix.
Yeah.
This suddenly turned
In a
into
podcast.
House of Cards podcast.
Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders.
That's a fun one.
What just happened?
That's
Tom
a,
Hardy.
That's a show
Yes.
on Netflix.
That's a
You've
thing.
got a hat
Are we all just saying words?
like that.
This,
Anyway.
I love that's my
Happy
connection.
birthday, Dr. Seuss.
So then
Yeah.
you have in House of
same
Cards to
thing.
go on is you have Frank Underwood as a narcissist. Claire is likely also a narcissist. So then you have the two of them together, which normally doesn't happen. Usually narcissists don't pair with other narcissists.
That's interesting.
so-
I didn't know that.
There you go. There's your little psychology for the
Rich,
day.
you get a phone
Narcissists
call
usually
in.
pair with antisocial personality disorder, although Frank probably could have
Like, ring, ring.
antisocial, or Claire
Hi,
could.
Julia. I have a question about my marriage.
Somebody has something that's accepting that enables the other one, right?
Yes.
Because I think that's what you're saying is that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say that narcissistic personalities,
ahead.
can't jive. Hand symbols can't jive.
Right.
But if you have somebody that can accept, like this turned into a terrible
Yeah.
analogy, but somebody has to be kind of receptive or allow
Yes.
that type of behavior, and that's not narcissism. Narcissism doesn't
I
allow
would say
other narcissism.
she is not a narcissist, but Frank is, because
Okay.
like she tends to give more than Frank does. Frank doesn't really give.
With all these characters, though, I mean,
Yeah,
and maybe I didn't watch it long
Although
enough. with,
he
like,
is undying love of her. I'm sorry, but he like loves her more than anything.
Yeah.
So it's, oh my gosh, can we have another
Except maybe
whole
power.
Whole-
Except maybe power.
Yes, can we have a whole other episode talking about the House of Cards dynamic?
we might just need a
Because
series.
she has all the power in the relationship. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, boy.
Anyway, John, Carrie,
We
I
should
could
have
go
a
on.
series and get the marriage counselor
You sh-
going on House of Cards.
Oh
You
yeah,
could.
yeah.
We could have a whole.
But
I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist
Oh,
by
okay.
trade. So
All right.
What I was gonna say.
I feel weird now.
surprise!
So you'll get your bill later this month. It's kind of like SAG. If you participate with anything with Julie, she'll send you a bill.
Yeah. This is going great because I
Yeah.
charge about $200 an hour.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
Yeah,
Per
That's a
person.
discount.
What I was going to say, so maybe I didn't watch Dexter long enough, but what I feel is is necessary with all these characters is that eventually we see a little crack in the surface. You know, we see the humanity underneath. Like, we see this powerful character, and it's just like, oh, this person is unstoppable. But in doing all these things that are like crushing other people and like stepping on them and just, you know, setting other people's needs aside.
Literally slicing them into pieces.
Literally slicing them into pieces. What
knocking the legs
makes,
out from underneath them.
What makes them, I mean, and the writers are getting so good at this, is, you know, just kind of like pushing you to the end of like your tolerance of like being able to watch them, and then like giving you just a hint of humanity.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, maybe I do kind of feel bad for that person, and that, you know,
That's
I
why
guess
he's
I didn't
riding off on his boat.
Yeah. I guess with writing in general, I mean, they're intriguing, and you put these normal people in crazy situations. Breaking Bad, had me on the edge of that sometimes, which is I just start thinking from the outside perspective, like, somebody wrote this.
I stopped after the tub episode. After the you know, it was the tub, right? That they put the body in and they put all the chemicals in. Breaking Bad.
Yeah, really?
I stopped after that because I was like, no, too much. I don't
That was like
it.
the second episode.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
It was like fresh in.
I have gone to watch, you know, into the third season. I think I am, but like that's where I was at my, you know, I was in a very happy place, and I saw that, and I was like, oh, this makes me not happy.
No.
I have never been in a happy place.
But everyone was like, it's good. You got to watch it.
The difference between, I think, too, is in the work that I used to do. I was like, I see human, awful things happening all the time to people. All day long, I'm at work hearing horrible stories. So when I come home from work, I want to watch How I Met Your Mother. I don't want to watch Dexter. Like,
yeah,
you know, so it'd be interesting now maybe to go back to some of those things. And like Breaking Bad was the same. I'm like, I can't watch Breaking Bad. This is too much. I can't take it. Now maybe I could, because I don't have like hard things happening all day long.
That's good.
Yeah, because I work here at Backflip Films.
Yeah.
Backflip Films, an award-winning film place.
where all of your backflips come true.
Cue the music.
Can I go back and get the sign again?
I've got some music.
John's dancing to his own music.
No, it's gonna be over the top of this.
I think we got to redo those plugs too. What?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is your website? What do you have? Like, list off all those podcasts, especially the Game of Thrones.
Okay, so let's see, Game of Thrones. If you like Game of Thrones, if you like The Blacklist, which is a good show.
Fargo.
Fargo. We were talking about Colin Hanks. He's in that.
Yes.
Backstrom, The Nick, Halt and Catch Fire. That's all Bjork Brothers.
What about the following?
The following is, so that's BjorkBrothers.com. The following, American Horror Story. My mind's going blank.
Haven't seen that one.
Better Call Saul.
House of Cards.
Nope. Yes. House of
on.
Cards.
You'll
That's
totally
all on
do it.
BalticEffect.com. In fact, but all the podcasts I do can be found linked from NateBjork.com, which is right there.
I'm giving your URL. Like
This is just background music.
Oh, okay. So it's at NateBjork.com. You can the album's at NateBjork.bandcamp.com, but just look on my website. It's there.
Do you have a Twitter handle?
Yes. Nate the Bjork.
Nate the Bjork with a J and the O with a dot.
Yeah, there's not in that.
So you could just do a regular O.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could put a dot
You're
if you
like
want.
typing it in.
What if I
you're
want
like,
to O?
Nate
Dot.
the BJ Alt 247.
Hold the O. Hold the O.
Check all of those things out. Especially, I'm really proud of that album. So even if you don't like Under the Dome, just listen to the album.
Give him
I
some
worked
likes.
really hard on it.
Yeah.
It's free.
Yeah. You
So-
can't.
Free
can't
music's always good.
dislike
Yeah.
free
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pay what you want, and one of the and every single person has chosen the price of 0, and that is fine as long as people listen to it.
Bastards.
That's awesome.
It's part of it's part of that
I've made it
mechanism. Yeah. That's great.
So it's good. And if you don't want to download it, you can stream it from Bandcamp, but download it so you can take it with you
on your devices, your
Yeah,
mobiles.
yeah.
Can I pirate it?
Yes, you can pirate it. Sweet.
But you have to pay free.
You have to pay free.
Oh.
Yeah. Just
I
let him
don't
know.
have free.
Just give him the love.
I will.
Like, link to him,
Oh.
download it, share his,
You meant me
share
had
him
to
with
go
your
hug
friends.
him or something.
That's one way you can
Is
do
that
it.
the other?
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to plug?
No, I think that's it. Just go to those things.
Yeah.
I see that you are on iTunes with your podcasts.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, all of the podcasts are on iTunes.
Also there. Well, great. Thank you so much, Nate,
Yeah,
for
thank
joining
you,
us.
guys.
This has been fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks for putting up with our
Thanks.
Shenanigans.
Oh,
Thank you, guys.
so we don't sign off well. So we let our guests sign off for us.
All right. Well, this has been Working Title. With me, as always, is Julia and Jeff. Jeffro.
No, it's cool.
Yes.
Ryan and John, and I'm Nate. And Troll Blave dot YouTube and
Nets.
I did not even. I did not bring the troll up this time.
No.
We're
and-
building an animatronic troll head, by the way.
We are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
All right,
tune into that.
I'm gonna restart this. Okay, this has been Working Title Podcast. Thank you for listening.
Yes.
This has been Julia, Jeff, Ryan, John, and Nate coming at you live from Backflip Studios.
From the past.
It's not live.
We were live at one time.
We're live right now.
Cue the music. No, it's
That's
just 6
great.
seconds. It's fine.
That's right. 6 seconds as long as you're talking over it. So as long as they
And they'll-
cannot
yes.
lift the entire song
Is
out.
that why Vine sets it at 6 seconds? So you
Probably.
can never get sued for.
Copyright.
I like it. I'm just gonna start ripping all music videos to 6 seconds, and you can just watch them sequentially.
Yeah. What if you took 6 seconds of a song, and then the next 6 seconds of a song, and then the next 6, and then edit them together, but it's just 6-second fragments.
Oh man, but that would be so annoying. You'd be like listening to it like do 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 do.
Yeah.
Everybody's working for the week.
weekend.
And then you get like
Ooh, you time ramp it too.
you get like an ad come up like in between phrases.
Serta mattresses for the weekend.